Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. Today we're back at you with another Ratchet video. Okay, this one, what can I say about this one? It's a brand that's, I guess has a pretty well-known name, but kind of wound up in a weird situation through the mergers and acquisitions. But before we jump into it, if you like these videos and you like ratchets and stuff like that, give me a like and also subscribe to my channel. Okay, this is a Herbrand, you see there, and this is the model 32000. And here's a look. It's a round head ratchet. This one is a 3/8 drive. Herbrand, a little bit about the history. Herbrand was an early tool company, early part of the 20th century. They were one of the innovators of chrome vanadium, which, as you know, that's like the go-to tool steel nowadays is chrome vanadium. And back in the 20s, they were, I think, one of the first companies that was using alloys and chrome vanadium for one. And they had a decent run. They were making ratchets, they were making wrenches, all kinds of stuff. And then I guess they hit hard times or something. So they were acquired in the early 60s by mergers and acquisitions, different companies. And they wound up being inside of one company, and that company getting swallowed up by another company, and so on and so forth, as we've seen with a lot of companies, American companies, unfortunately, during that period. But they eventually came to be, I guess, acquired by a company called the Triangle Industries. And supposedly they marked their tools with a triangle, like we see here in the middle of the name and the model. So yeah, this was from that period. The triangle period was, I think, the late 60s. They were acquired and they probably went into the 70s, and then finally they were, I think the last acquisition was Cooper Corporation or Industries, and that was the end of Herbrand from then on. So I can't say, maybe they lasted until the early 80s, not sure, but I don't know. This ratchet, you can see this, it doesn't say where it was made. It doesn't say if it's US or where. I'm gonna say that this was not US. This was probably made overseas, maybe early Taiwan in the 70s. Doesn't look that great from the outside, and the knurling just looks not that great. Just like little raised sections. There's no real like aggressive knurling here, just like little tiny bumps. Not too good a job here. And here's the switch, and it has very light back drag, which you would think, oh, that's great, but usually when there's light back drag like this, it's not a good sign in a round head. Probably means that the springs or plungers are not that great. This has a coil ring that goes around. I already pre-gamed it and took a section out, so I can just peel it out and not have to waste an extra minute. And And this is what the interesting thing about this coil ring. I know we've seen hundreds of them, and what's the difference between coil rings? A coil ring is a coil ring. This one has 3 sections. Usually they're just two coils. This one throws 3 coils, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen a 3 coil ring, retention ring before. And we take this out and we're thinking, oh well, this is the usual cheap ratchet from China, blah blah blah. And what we see here is 2 poles, strangely enough. So they actually went through the trouble of putting 2 poles in this, looks like not so great ratchet, but we'll get to that in a second. Here's a look at the head. Actually, the teeth don't look too bad. I gotta say that the teeth seem okay. I mean, there's a little pitting in there, but I can't really say that the teeth look that bad. There's a little cutout here on this side for the switch side, and it looks like there's a little attempt at a cutout on the other side also. Maybe they were trying to make room for that 3 coil spring retention ring. That's what that looks like. And here's the mechanism with two poles, and each pole has 3 teeth per side, as you can see there. And okay, let's attempt to take this apart. What I do is I press whatever poles are sticking up. So if it was this one and that one, I would press them both down at the same time, and then get the indents under this post here. Then I would grab a magnet and little by little try to take out, try to get underneath. And pull out the switch. This might take a little time. There we go. Okay, you want to cover around the openings so that the spring and the detents won't go flying out. Okay, there we go. Here's the switch. Has the detents with the spring in the middle. Another interesting thing about this is that the detents, I'm not sure if they came like this, but the detents seem to be somehow it's all one piece here. It doesn't really come out. I'm thinking, did they come like this from the factory to make it easy to assemble? Because this is a lot easier than having 2 detents on each end to hold on to and assemble. If you can just put this little one piece into here and then assemble, that would be actually an improvement in the design of these ratchets, if they would make a plunger spring combination like this, all one piece. But I'm not sure if that's what the intent was, because there is that dent there that's indicative of these ratchets where there's no control of where the switch, there's no switch stop in the mechanism. So the sides of the detents get squished onto the sides and the inside there, onto those corners. They get squished, and you see that, and that's what sometimes makes these pawls not go up and down really good, because this will get stuck in there and it'll be in the down position. It'll be in the lower position. It won't let those indents, won't let the spring go all the way up. So instead of going up like that and having a good lockup, they'll be low like that. And that's why I was saying you have sometimes that very light back drag, because there's no spring tension on those pawls, holding the pawls up, if that makes any sense. Let me take one of these pawls out, because I don't want to go make this a very long video. And here is one of the posts. The posts don't look too bad. They look pretty run-of-the-mill. They look pretty decent. The thickness is okay on these, not too bad there. And the pawl, here's just one of the pawls, and like I said, they're 3 teeth, and they're 3 kind of very deep teeth there, very pronounced. You see the deepness of those teeth. And the fit and finish is not so great. If you see, there's a lot of lines. The chrome looks kind of sloppy. They did chamfer the hole here, and they did chamfer the hole there. I give that to them, but you can see all the machining lines that go in an arc there. And on the bottom you can see a lot of machining lines also. So like I said, the fit and finish is not the greatest on this, but if the metal is good on this, the pawls, the pins, and the pawl pins and the teeth, and the whole thing, if the metals were good on this, I would say this isn't too bad, because it's got the double pawl design. So, and the teeth look pretty good. They look pretty sharp, and the teeth on the head, the round part in the head here, the teeth, they don't look too bad either. That's what I'm saying. If the metal was up to par on this ratchet, I would say this is not a bad ratchet. But I can't vouch for this, the metals on this, because I don't know where this came from. This looks like, it looks like an attempt to make a decent ratchet real cheap. That's what it kind of looks like to me. But see, like the fit and finish there is not too bad. You see how there's not a lot of room there? Just a little tiny bit of rocking, as you would expect with any like okay sort of ratchet. And this I really like, because it's very simple, easy. You just take this spring plunger like conglomeration, and you just stick it in there, and you ain't got to worry about one plunger falling out of the other side or what. And you place that there, and if I'm lucky, hopefully be able to get this done. Kind of jinx myself, I guess. Yeah, of course. Famous last words. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, see if it works. Yeah, see one is going up, but it's not. You see how doesn't have that good tension in there. Because that spring, maybe I should have stretched that spring out a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's what I should have done. But it has those indents, and those indents, once the switch goes all to one side, they start to dig into those plungers, and it keeps them from being able to go up all the way. That's the one thing they probably didn't do all the way, was put a switch stop in the mechanism to get it so those plungers don't hit those sides and get dented. And this coil ring goes on like every other coil ring. The only thing is that it's a little bit longer, so you got to go around a couple of times. And that's it. Well, there you go. That's the teardown and overview of the Herbrand 32000 Ratchet from, I guess, probably the 70s. Don't know where it's made. Pretty sure it's not made in the US. I could be wrong, but yeah, kind of surprised with the double pulls there. Alright guys, until next time.